Now, he usually plays the president on television. Now he's in the lead to take the role on for life. A comedian with no political experience has won the first round of Ukraine's presidential elections. Volodymyr Zelenskiy came in comfortably ahead of the incumbent Petro Poroshenko. They'll face a runoff vote in 3 weeks. And earlier I spoke to Peter Dickinson, a non-resident fellow at the Atlantic Council and publisher of Business Ukraine and Lviv Today magazines. They asked him about Zelenskyy's background and what his success says about Ukrainian society.
As well as the TV celebrity aspect, I think one of the most unusual aspects of his campaign is the lack of it. He's done very little publicly. He's had very little interaction with the media, except what you could refer to as tame media on the channel which broadcasts his TV shows and in which he has a very close relationship with. He's not engaged with the public or with the press broadly, and not said a lot about what he really stands for. So he's become a candidate which a lot of people can pin their hopes on without him being very specific about what he represents.
Okay, and what do you think that says about, Ukraine society, the fact that they're pinning their hopes, as you say, on a man who has done next to no campaigning at all?
I think it speaks of the hunger for change. People have been very frustrated by the pace of change since 2014. Of course, the country's gone through enormous trauma. The conflict in East Ukraine continues. Casualties continue to mount up on a weekly basis. It's not a frozen conflict at this stage, and that's been hugely traumatic for the nation. There's been economic trauma as well. But still, there was a large mandate for change in 2014 when Petro Poroshenko became president. And although he's had some successes in some specific areas, broadly speaking, he is seen to have failed to have made the break with the old system, the old oligarchic, corrupt, post-Soviet political environment remains to a significant degree still in place, and people are desperate to see that go.
Okay. Well, Petro Poroshenko, as you say there, will face this runoff now with Volodymyr Zelenskiy. How do you see the next 2 to 3 weeks playing out?
Poroshenko still has a good chance. I wouldn't rule him out at all, although the first round, the gap in the first round is almost 2 to 1. Zelenskiy's on around 30%. Poroshenko at the moment, as the votes are still being counted, looks to be on around 16%. So he's almost half, he's just over half Zelenskiy's vote. So Zelenskiy at this stage is the clear favourite. But there's quite a lot of people, certainly people I've spoken to, and it's a message I often hear repeated, people who don't really like Poroshenko but say, well, in the first round I'm going to vote for somebody else, but I'll vote for him in the second round because I fear change. I fear the instability of an inexperienced leader at this point. So there's a lot of people, I think, who don't necessarily like Poroshenko or really have much confidence in his ability to radically change or improve Ukrainian lives, but they may well vote for him in the second round just out of a sense of avoiding more instability or chaos, perhaps, which could come from the very inexperienced figure like Zelensky becoming the head of state. So I think that Poroshenko will be looking to play on that over the next few weeks, whereas Zelensky will be looking to bolster his credibility, perhaps unveiling his cabinet picks or his preferences for key government positions, surrounding himself maybe with more reformers with credible track records or even technocrats to make himself look a little bit more credible. He's in the driving seat, but now he has to get over the finish line.